Hey, good afternoon everybody, welcome to the 1 hour boat trip. So first of all, before we leave, we just have a few safety announcements to do in case of emergencies. So we have over 50 life jackets on board, more than enough to cater for us all. These are all stored and are covered in the wheelhouse here with me, also underneath the front bench, and the bench behind the engine box. And now to put these on, they're quite simple, where Jack will demonstrate. So first of all, if you place the jacket over your head, you can then bring the toggle all the way around the back to meet the one in the front. Now these are inherent life jackets, therefore you can jump straight in the water with them. There's also a little whistle on it to let everybody else know where you are in the water. Now underneath the back bench we have a 65-man life raft. We have 4 life rings, 2 on the wheelhouse roof, 2 on the stern. We also carry firefighting equipment, first aid equipment, rockets and flares. So for the safety aspect of the trip, we're fully insured, fully licensed and fully qualified to take you out for the day. So we'll be venturing from the bay. We will endeavour to give you some speeches and also wildlife that reside here as well. Now keep an eye out, as Newquay has become one of the most formidable places in the whole of the UK for actually spotting the bottlenose dolphins, where we have a resident family of about 30 to 40 that live in a 25-mile radius either side of us. We're very lucky with the numbers are increasing, but there have been quite a few calves put on in the last few years. The bottlenose dolphins of Cardigan Bay, now they can grow to the largest in the world of its species here. With some of the males, they can reach up to near on 4 meters in length. All told, about 250 individual dolphins have been identified in the whole of the Cardigan Bay area during one season, and they can be identified via the dorsal fin, and that acts as the thumbprint, where each one is individual with all its nicks, dents, scratches and bite marks. They are a protected species in the UK, where we do have a code of conduct that we must adhere to. So basically we're not allowed to go chase them at all. We do have to give them a certain amount of distance. And again, we have a time limit to stay in their presence. So now on our travels, keep an eye out, scout the water surface, and if you think you've seen something, give a little shout out and we'll stop and handle them. So we hope you enjoy your journey.
This is so much better than the other boat because it's so near to the water like this. Like it's almost, you know. Just roll your eyes that you're annoyed with me.
a single white bungalow on its own. Well, that's Majorda. It's where Dylan Thomas lived for just under a year of his life towards the end of World War II. Now, Dylan Thomas was a famous Welsh poet and playwright, and it was here that he had the inspiration to write Under Milkwood, his most famous work. The majority of the characters within the play were all based on characters of Newquay of old. And the fictional town of Fairhaven under Milkwood was also based on the town of Newquay. Dylan did refer to it as the Hill of Windows, and from this angle looking back at the town you can see why. Dylan was to die a very young man at the age of 39 while out visiting in New York in 1953. But he was buried in St Martin's graveyard in Larne, in Carmarthenshire. And in 2007 we had a Hollywood blockbuster crew now, that they came and filmed the location here and in Newquay itself, depicting some of Dylan's life. We had a few actors and actresses down as well, such as Sienna Miller, Keira Knightley, Matthew Rhys and Cillian Murphy. This film was out on general release in 2008 called The Edge of Love, where you would have seen quite a bit of Newquay in it.
The other one was a bit more solid, like a fairy, like you didn't this is like proper. I love it.
Change direction going to
Middle of the ocean. Lovely, the breeze.
Okay guys, so along with that clothing conduct we have in place, we have got some sort of set route that we do need to stick to. Set route. What dolphin? Fantastic, right, okay, so that'll be about the 10 o'clock direction guys. If the front of the boat is 12 and the back of the boat is 6. If everyone on the same side as the dolphin, sit down for me and out the people behind you. The guys on the right hand side of the boat, feel free to stand up. We will turn the boat shortly again, so I'll ask you to play musical chairs, so apologies about that, but it does just make it fair for everybody.
So exhilarating, isn't it? God. We came before, we never saw them in spring last year. Yeah.
We've been a couple of times, not seen them. We've been a couple of times and seen loads as well though.
I think it makes it more special when you don't see them, and the first time's like, oh my God. Amazing, oh my heart.
There it is. There.
Oh my God.
Up about our 10 o'clock direction. So we have a mother and calf here.
Mother
Now
and
you will
calf.
notice that the calf is swimming in unison with the mother. So it uses the mother's slipstream to help propel itself along in the water. Now this is known as shallow swimming. So if we looking at the left-hand side, same side as the dolphins remain seated, allowing everybody behind you then the view. We'll turn the boat so that everybody can have a chance of being on the same side as the dolphin. What we do ask as well, if nobody can stand on the seat, so thank you for that. So they're not interested in us at all at the moment. They are too busy foraging for food. But they can be very interactive animals with the boats, where they will often come and join us to bow ride. And basically, as the boat is moving along with the water, it pushes the water away from in front of it, creating a wake. Now this wake, the dolphins like to play in it, as it does propel their speed slightly. Doesn't take them any effort at all to glide in this slipstream, and they do it purely just for pleasure and fun. Now they can make it a lot easier for us to spot as well, where they can jump on what we call breach. They can do this very proficiently up to about 5 meters clean out of the water. But they have different postures depending on what they're doing at the time. So for example, if they're busy foraging for food, as they come out of the water and slam back down on the surface, that stuns the fish underneath, enabling the dolphin to go in for the kill. Other forms of postures are just when they're having a bit of fun, or again during their breeding sessions. Now there is no specific breeding season for the dolphins. They're a very promiscuous animal. They will breed all through the year. They will give birth to the calves all through the year as well. But we do find more of an increase though during the spring to summer months. Now what we'll do is we'll turn the boat so that everybody on the right hand side can have a chance now being on the same side. What we ask is if the right hand side could remain seated now please, allowing everybody on the left hand side to stand up. So thank you for that. So sorry for playing musical chairs, it is just so that everybody can have a fair chance of being on the same side as the dolphin and vote opportunity. So about our 3 o'clock direction still. So there is no specific breeding season with the dolphins. They're a very promiscuous animal. They will breed all through the year. They will give birth to the calves all through the year as well, but we do find more of an increase though during the spring to summer months. If possible, if nobody could stand on the seats, if you please. So thank you for that.
Baby and mummy.
So if the children could not stand on the seats, so thank you for that. Now I mentioned the code of conduct that we have set up in the area. So it was set up over 20 years ago, and it covers an area of 20 miles either side of New Quay, as it is deemed a special area of conservation. So the SAC, due to all the wildlife that we have here. So we have an SAC officer and an SAC office situated in New Quay. It's run by the local council, and they govern everything that we do. Now they came up with a set of rules that we must abide by. Now if I, as the skipper, was to impede on these rules, I could actually be arrested and prosecuted for the fact under the Wildlife Crimes Act. So we must give them a certain amount of distance, 100 metres. We cannot drive towards them, we cannot deviate our course for them. We do have a time limit to stay in the presence of the dolphin. Area that we're on, or I should say really that the dolphin could be spotted at any point of the journey, but we do have certain feeding hotspots as such for them. One of them is just behind the back of the pier where we picked you up from. Another one then is in towards the safe swim area of the main beach. And again in front of us, so where we are at the moment, in front of us there is a reef area that extends into the shoreline. So it can become very precarious to the seafaring vessels, but it's a very productive feeding hotspot for them. Numerous varieties of wildlife under the waters here, such as fish, cephalopods such as cuttlefish, squid, and cephalopods such as lobsters and crabs. The whiting, dab, plaice, mackerel and herring, just to mention a few. But then we have many tributaries that lead into the bay. So we have a lot of migrating salmon and also sewin, which are better known as sea trout, travelling up and down the coastline and are quite a delicacy for the dolphins. Now we'll turn again so that the left-hand side, now the chance, so what we ask is if the left can remain seated again, please, allowing everybody on the opposite side to stand up, so thank you for that. Now you will notice that the calf is swimming in unison with the mother. So it uses the mother's slipstream to help propel itself along in the water. This is known as echelon swimming.
Shalom. Peace. Shalom means peace.
So they'll be constantly scanning their environment, looking for prey. And then when they do look in, the prey go in for the kill. There is usually a bit of disturbance on the surface. But where the dolphins are currently, there's a lot of candy area there as well. And again, it's a good habitat for numerous varieties of wildlife there. So they'll just be scanning constantly. But we are coming up now to our time limit to stay in the presence of a dolphin. So we must carry on with the rest of the trip. So fingers crossed though, we will encounter more dolphins on our travels.